Well, the ports of New York and New Jersey overtaking the West Coast when it comes to shipping volumes, although that said, some cracks in the armor on both coasts are seen as we head into the new year or deeper into the new year. It's already the new year, Jane. Of course, Jane Wells joins us from the port of L.A. to tell us more. Jane.
I know, David, we're already halfway through the first month. Make this crazy thing stop. Okay, but folks, first we're going to go back in time. Let's go down memory lane. This is me out on the water 15 months ago. It is so busy here at the Port of Los Angeles. Today there are 65 ships parked out here. It's going to take 10 days to get an appointment. Back then, we followed the journey of a Care Bear from China to the U.S., and it was a fiasco here on the West Coast. So some shipping shifted east. A CNBC survey of logistics managers said 40% rerouted traffic to other ports like New York and New Jersey, stealing SoCal's crown. But over the last few months, container traffic on both coasts is down. The major reason? Lack of consumer demand and fears of a recession. And the West Coast contract talks with dock workers still not being resolved just makes it another thing to be really hard to be the head of the Port of L.A.
First quarter is going to be lighter than what we're normally accustomed to. Retail inventories are still real high. I'm hearing that factories are going to be closed for longer than normal during Lunar New Year, which starts on Sunday, as folks go back to their hometowns. Instead of a 7 to 10 day break, we may see as long as 3 to 4 weeks.
Now, Seroka is giving a State of the Port speech later today. He says even though volume was down 7% in 2022, it was still the second best year ever. Now, a trend to watch, okay? Nearshoring to Mexico. Don't need any ships at all for that. It's not a big deal yet. It may not be for every industry, but the CEO of a startup called ZipFox, which puts together companies and factories in Mexico, says a lot of big firms are starting to experiment with it.
You've got people like Walmart even moving some of their uniforms that they were producing in China over to one of our factories called Preslo in Mexico. And so that was a direct decision to not produce them in China because of the risk, because of the delay, and say, let's move them to Mexico.
The good news for this port, it is still really cheap and really fast once again to come in here. The CEO of Basic Fun, which sells those Care Bears, says he shifted some traffic to the East Coast. He's brought it back to the West Coast. That's when he's shipping. Right now, he's starting to store inventory made in China because it's cheaper there, waiting on the American consumer to come back. Guys?
All right, Jane Wells, thank you.